Welcome back to the episode. I'm Grant. It's Elijah. We're going to talk about today. It's Detroit Pistons. We're in the last week of the season. Right now, they just came off. They are in a two-game losing streak right now. Not a huge deal, but I think if anything, you want to have some type of momentum, going into the playoffs. Right now, it's looking like more than likely we'll end up playing the Knicks, but there are chances that it could be the Bucks or the Pacers as well, kind of depending on how these last few games of the season go. So looking at that as well. But yeah, I'll kick it over to you, E. Just wanted to see your thoughts on last few games the Pistons have had, and yeah, just your thoughts on how they went.
Yeah, so I think we are kind of recalibrating. Is kind of what I'll put it. I think we fought hard. We obviously played tough to one of the more physical teams throughout the whole league. Um, and then kind of look at the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks as a whole. Cade has missed a lot of time. Tobias Harris has missed a lot of time. You got a massive suspension in there with coaches getting kicked out, and I think what 3 or 4 of our players missed a game ultimately. And so I think all of that is kind of shaky. And then on top of that, you add 78 games or 79 games onto your body at this point in time. So I just think we are just recalibrating. And I agree with you when you said you want to finish strong going into the playoffs here. I think this Knicks matchup is looking very, very likely. And so I do think both teams are going to have kind of interesting thing to go tomorrow. Obviously, you want to win. Knicks, if they win, they don't really move up. Imagine if we go on a 3-game win streak, we would move up, but I don't. That wouldn't be advantageous to us, I believe, because I do like that Knicks matchup better than the Pacers, and we have Knicks, Bucks, and Bucks are sitting right in front of us with a 2-game lead. So, overall, last couple of weeks, I think just trying to recalibrate, trying to finish the season, figure out how we can get guys healthy, get guys ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I like that because before we jumped on here, I did kind of frame it as like uh falling off a little bit. That was probably like a little extreme. I do like you said, calibrating, recalibrating, just suspension. I came and went so fast. I feel got Stewart back for 2 games, but also we got him back for 2 games. Jalen Duren was out, if I'm not mistaken. And that's I think that was the Memphis game where Edie had like 22 to like 25 rebounds, something crazy. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Um, Tobias Harris being out. Yeah, a lot of changes up in the lineups and stuff too. I mean, I think I've seen like Malik Beasley and like Schroeder and Cade, and then I've seen like Cade and Dennis Schroeder because they probably preferred Beasley to come off the bench to kind of be with that second unit, from a scoring standpoint. So there is just a lot kind of going on while also, and then yeah, the biggest thing too, Cade was out, for I think like a week and a half. So there's a lot going on there, but like you said, that wear and tear probably starting to kind of hit him a little bit. Like Tobias, we missed him for quite a while, but like missing him like dearly. Like I think
Yeah.
I mean that's like a awesome veteran presence that we need to have, would love to have, when the playoffs start. I think he's kind of been more like day to day. Like I don't think it's like anything like dire or like put him out like, or have him not ready for the playoffs. But yeah, he's got to rock out these last few games. Our last game is Sunday at 1 against the Bucks on ESPN. I just saw, so that's pretty cool. Um, and then yeah, got a good about 6 days off from there to just get back right. So like where we're at, like I said, this has all pretty much been icing on the cake since that like 31st win. So like where we're at right now, and yeah, we'll just kind of see if we can finish off this week. Would be good to at least get somebody if possible
Yeah,
this week. I would like to see that just from like a
I agree.
um
And I think the Knicks game is interesting because it's kind of a cat and mouse. Like, I don't know. It's not exactly football, but do you want to show too much? Are they going to be resting? Are we going to be resting? Kind of what does that look like? Because neither team is highly incentivized to want to play, but also you can kind of, I guess, get a little bit of wrinkles out for what you're going to do for the next 7 games. So that's interesting to me. And it just try to fast forward to the Bucks. We were on here talking a little grimy about how maybe not on here, but how Dame being out that would
yeah,
feel a little better to us. But then did a little bit of addition by subtraction and maybe just simplifying it of, hey, give the ball to Giannis and get out the way. Let him cook, let him kind of get back to being the focal point of this thing. And they're kind of corrected the ship a little bit. So, uh, you know, and we obviously faced them 2 games back to back. I imagine the NBA when they wrote that schedule thought, okay, this would be the Bucks fighting for like move up to first or second place in the East.
Yeah.
Uh, not fighting for playoff seeding with us. Because we wanted to go get those 2 games, we could definitely leapfrog them. But I don't like that for us. And then outside of that, the Pacers, I think are you say, I'm not going to steal your talking here, but probably give us the most fright, most they're
It's a tough
a
match.
bad match for us. Yeah, just kind of how what we want to do and what they want to do. Obviously division rivals, arch rivals, dating back to Reggie Miller, Tayshaun Prince block come to mind. So we,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
if that happens to happen, that would be some good playoff basketball. I know it's for sure, but I guess crazy things happen. We have to play the Pacers or the Bucks. Kind of, what are your thoughts on those 2 teams?
Yeah, and I think both of those matchups, you got it is tough. Like I said, I kind of walked back how I feel about the Bucks. I mean, I think Giannis is kind of just I don't know. I feel like they're kind of playing better this way. They did also get Bobby Portis back, or I forgot was out for like 25 games. So like
Taking his
they
run.
put up they put a lot of pressure like on our bigs, which would be it could be tough. Getting him in foul trouble. Giannis like he gonna put a lot of pressure on the rim. Get him down the court. So. I think just with that one, like I think we just have like solid wings like Cade. I think leading the charge. I don't think anybody on the team can guard him. So I think it be a solid matchup. But it was just like Duran and Stewart had to play like the best series of their lives, which is also going to be the first series of their career. So at the end, like you said, that Pacers matchup, they just get up and down the court. Halliburton. I think I saw something crazy. He like I mean, got like the second most games in NBA history with like 15 assists and no turnovers or something like that. Um,
He's a maestro with it.
yeah,
Um,
they got. I mean, they
yeah, don't get me started on how he could theoretically be with us if we were did some some drafting right a couple of years
yeah,
ago. But no, I remember him out of Iowa State, and he's been a dog since then. Um, when he got seasoned with the
that'd be interesting because
Olympic team.
would it have been like Halliburton and like Jalen Green, or you putting Halliburton next to Cade?
Mm. I like that. I don't know. I think
Cade, they kind of
he
like
can play off the ball more, but it would be interesting.
yeah,
That'd be the most dynamic. That'd be
yeah,
um, but neither here nor there. We'll go for his head either way. And I
yeah.
guess this just popped in my head here. So I like the Knicks personnel matchup best. They've been running their players into the ground. We've got them a couple of times this year. I feel pretty probably overly confident with that. But I want to say something. I think they probably have the hardest environment to go and play in for a first year team without very much playoff experience, outside of Hardaway and
Bias,
Duran. Not them. I'm tripping. Yeah.
bias, and Reed.
Tobias and Schroeder. So outside of them, it's all those are first minutes, and that would be, you're gonna have Tracy Morgan sitting courtside throwing up. You're gonna have this happening and that happening. So I think that'd be, you know, that that environment would be a lot more tough to play in than let's say a Pacers. Um, Even though the crowd be hostile there, so I'd say that, but I think the Knicks, the
Oh,
lights are a little brighter.
yeah,
The
because but I don't know. I do sometimes feel like stars just kind of go in there and it's just like,
No, they play up to the light. I agree with you. If you about it, you'll play into it. Um, but if you first time series, I could see the lights of
couple
it all.
tries,
Yeah.
couple air
Uh,
balls
yeah, yeah,
off the side of the back or off the backboard.
yeah. So
I like, and you naming all them guys. I like the blend. Even like Paul Reed. That's a good, he sat behind, Embiid. I think he was on that team when they, you know, saying like it was a massive accomplishment, but I think, like they went to like at least the second round a couple
yeah.
different times, if I'm not mistaken. He's been in some pretty big series, like a backup to Embiid. Yeah, we got a good like blend of guys that can just, hopefully, all right, been kind of preaching.
Weather the storm a little bit. Been there before. Let them know
Yeah,
what they
like
can
hit
do.
us. Like I think
Yeah,
Schroeder, I can see him being a primary ball handler, good amount of possessions, initiating the offense, going to get a bucket if we need it.
Yeah.
Beasley being
Just
super
slow them
aggressive.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of like some of these guys kind of like shooting first and then like K, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like following the vet's lead and then I think Cade will, some of them guys will be able to he'll be able to kind of like elevate everybody else from there.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
No, I agree with you. I think this season has been great. And I think they gotta I mean, obviously we got some good couple games left in the regular season, but I think as far as playoffs go, I think you hear everybody say it. We are not a team you want to run into. We are not going to be easy out.
yeah.
And I think this is just the first of what many seasons that we have. I think for the next 5, 10, hopefully years, we'll be sitting around watching Cade go to work. Um, and then also just popped in my head, I guess we can say safe to say Jay Ivey is a no go. Obviously
Yeah.
we I haven't heard any more updates as far as he's been out doing this or that and that. I mean, we're coming down to it. And
I
I
see
can't
him
imagine
running and
we throw him
shooting,
in,
warming
yeah,
up.
into the playoffs.
He probably about yeah, I'd say like that type of stuff. Probably like a month off like that. He still got to go through like 3-on-3, 5-on-5, 2-on-2. Like yeah,
Yeah,
so
and 100% don't rush him back. I just know that was
sure.
a slight optimism,
Yeah.
when you look at that original timeline of like 4 to 6 months, you're like, okay,
Mhm.
but go get healthy, let this team cook, and I think we can I think we can make some noise in the playoffs, bro. I really do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I think I think we got like nothing to lose. I mean, I think, and it's just funny we talking up this Knicks matchup so bad. It is what it is, though. But I just think this is how I look at it. I think it's just realistic. Like you got Jalen Brunson take $100 million pay cut.
No, fuck the Knicks. No.
I mean, that's what I'm pretty much about to say. Like, yeah, like in a nice way. Like they like traded Cat, traded for Cat. Jalen Brunson did this crazy pay cut, like one of the biggest. So you get his head cracked every time he get paid. Like taking that type of pay cut. They traded like 5, 6 picks for Miles Bridges. Like
Yeah,
and still they ain't beat the Celtics in 2 years. Like regular, like so, like I mean, I
yeah.
think or else it's like walking in there like you'll be a little upset if you 4-0 or losing five, maybe. But it's also like, I mean, what is there to, like I said, obviously it's gonna be some jitters, but I think all the pressure, like to do
That's what
everything
I was saying.
off season
All the pressure's on them.
and still not be better than the Celtics. Like you better advance at least. Like you gotta
Yeah.
at least go get them and get a chance to go at them
And
again.
in their, I don't want to use this word, but they kind of seem like a cursed franchise. Like they, like something, and I'm not wishing nothing anything. Something always happens. The team falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
Something bizarre goes along. I think that is,
I got a coach that runs
yeah,
their plays into the ground.
yeah, yeah. Run their players into the ground. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, uh, let's not, let's not have an overtime game or so. I mean, them players be winded. So I think we got
Yeah.
all that momentum going for us. I think I do like Thibodeau as a coach, but
Yeah.
I think arguably we got the better coach. Definitely better. Like I think in the moment, he's
Mhm.
hot. He's a maestro for what we have going on. The players love him.
Yeah.
We're not they're not feuding with their coach like they are. As far as hey, I need to play less fucking minutes, coach. They're
I
not
mean,
out
these are
there.
real things.
Yeah,
Like this ain't just like
yeah. Our coach about to throw a right hand for them. So I
yeah,
think he,
he's been jumping like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, like yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is like it's just like the reality. You got a lot of times where like I think we're trending in a good direction. You dropped a couple, we're trending really well. It's off like vibes, and then like there are some teams like like the Nuggets for example. Like their record looks solid, but like coach is fired. Memphis fired their coach. Got like like the coach like the Knicks like openly asking a coach to like play the bench. You know what I mean? There's just kind of like some, playing
yeah.
players too much. Too many minutes. There's just kind of a lot going on.
I related to like just I don't know what it's I related to like the NFL regular season. Lions finished with the best record, but the team was beat to shit. There were lots of
Yeah.
question marks on what was going to happen, and then you let another team who is just hot, clicking at the right time. You got a young guy in there cooking,
It don't always look as
make
good on
make
paper.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it could be a mirrored situation in here where some of those top teams, whether it's pressure, whether it's wear and tear on the body, um, just kind of a house of paper cards. They got a lot of good players, but they don't really play together well. Whatever that might look like, I think we got that we got that special dog in us, and I feel great with Cade leading us. Yeah, bro, I feel good about it, man. Um,
Sitting pretty.
yeah, we really are. I mean, we go so probably realistically one in 1-2, 2-1 over the next couple of games. So probably finish at 40,
Gotta imagine they sit Giannis down at least one game.
45 and 37 or something.
I
Yeah,
think that, yeah, I gotta imagine they sit Giannis down at least one game. Knicks, would that be interesting? Because I don't know, there might be a little bit to that game tomorrow.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
might-
Be a little cat and mouse, or whether people want to go out or not.
yeah, maybe just, a little like, little 5 game, 8 game series. We just got a couple teams worked in there. That'd be a good, obviously we played them, beat them a few times this season
So
already.
the Knicks, they lost to the Celtics last night. They got Jason Tatum, um,
Yeah.
and then they got us tomorrow, Cavs on Friday, and then they finish with the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
So I imagine they don't really need to win any games. I mean, like you said, you don't want to go in back and into the playoffs. So
Right.
also the Cavs, they're going to try to go get one of those.
For
Uh,
sure.
yeah,
And I think we'll do, out of these three, I think tomorrow might be the one you really go get. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Maybe sit. 'Cause that's, it's gonna be a back to back. Sit down, Caden. I mean, yeah, just kind of see what the Bucks is doing, and maybe we'll get like just a nice like Sunday afternoon just clash. Before the end of the regular season. I can see it
right.
definitely turning out that way.
No, I
Um,
agree. Yeah, no, we in the prime spot, and I think we go see this little playoff matchup.
yeah.
A game early. I'm trying to capture. Let me just type it in Knicks. It ain't working. So we definitely beat them. We beat them in January. That's one win. Beat them in December, 2 wins.
Dude,
Sometimes
beat
we
them 3 times.
yeah. So we got their number.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Something about that matchup. They can't
Two and
deal with.
one. We lost to them November 1st by
Okay.
like.
That was a whole new team. That don't even count.
Right,
I
yeah,
mean,
that was, yeah. No, seriously.
yeah,
That was like, yeah, I mean, that was like the gauntlet of the first. And that's one, man. I mean, obviously we'll download on all this and look back on it, once the season ends. But the gauntlet they had, and then how they just got hot in December. I mean, that's still like, I mean, looking at all these W's in a row in like from like January to March is kind of crazy.
yeah. I mean, other we started out 0-5, and other than Miami, every team above us is in the playoffs. Every team we lost to is in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
think about
Beating who
that.
we're
So
supposed to, and then getting people around, where we're at, a little bit above us as well. So
no, for
yeah,
sure.
hats off. I mean, I think we're in a good spot. As far as where we're at. So we're in the playoffs. Don't gotta duke it out with anybody next week. Get some good rest come Saturday. Yeah, I mean, we'll know. I already have an idea who we're looking at, but we'll know for sure by Sunday. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to some playoff basketball. It's been if you would have told me that the Lions would have got to the playoffs more since, I mean, what, 2016, 2015? I thought you were kind of crazy.
Yeah. No,
Um,
if you'd have told me I'd watch the Pistons win more series in middle school than I would my entire
adult life, yeah, like
yeah,
teenage to college, yeah,
late teens and up through
yeah.
32. Yeah, it's
Was
crazy.
getting him out of there when he was growing up, yeah.
No, we was getting uh spoiled back in the day, but no, I think it's coming back around.
Definitely.
But yeah, you got anything else for the people?
No, that's all I got. Back with y'all right next week. Once you understand the matchup is, do a little research, talk about the series, and go from there.
Yes, sir. Peace. Detroit
Gotcha.
basketball.